is time for the Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less for today. And we start with the latest on the shooting death of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. His accused killer could officially face charges in Utah as soon as tomorrow. But officials say that he is not cooperating with investigators. ABC's Morgan Norwood breaks down what we're learning about the 22-year-old's life before he took that final shot.
To follow Jesus.
Hundreds gathered at the Kennedy Center in the nation's capital last night to remember Charlie Kirk.
I speak on behalf of the president when I say President Trump loved you, Charlie.
More details are emerging about Kirk's suspected killer, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Utah's governor says Robinson is refusing to cooperate with investigators.
He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating.
Sources say Robinson surrendered after his father recognized him in these surveillance images and urged him to come forward. Authorities say when they recovered the shooter's shell casings, they contained messages. One read, "Hey, fascists, catch." Another referenced an Italian anti-fascist folk song. Investigators also confirming they've now interviewed Robinson's roommate, with whom they say he was romantically involved.
His roommate was indeed a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female, and that he is cooperating with authorities as well.
Officials say Robinson had no military experience, but was proficient with a firearm. Multiple social media posts by his family show him posing with guns.
About 175 yards from the podium to the shooting location.
175 yards. And would you have to be a pretty proficient marksman to be able to make it, given those conditions?
Given the environment, that type of shot is not easy.
President Trump continues to blame only the left for political violence, not referencing the Democrats targeted in recent months. But other Republicans are striking a different tone.
You need to take the word radical and remove right or left. And radical coming from any direction is not good.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Kirk's funeral is set for next Sunday at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium outside of Phoenix. President Trump says he will attend and plans to award Kirk the Medal of Freedom.
Governor Newsom will decide whether both federal and state officers will be banned from wearing masks in California. The bill here has inspired similar ones in other states like Tennessee, Michigan, Illinois, and New York. ABC 10 News reporter Danny Miskell breaks down both sides of this argument.
California lawmakers have just passed a bill that will ban federal immigration officers as well as local law enforcement from wearing masks here in the state. Some California lawmakers taking notice that many in the public are feeling intimidated, surrounded by ICE raids, even seeing the National Guard deployment in LA for the protests back in June. A recent Supreme Court decision is also fueling this bill. A judge overturning a court order that would have blocked ICE's ability to stop or detain people based on the color of their skin.
Extreme masking that is causing terror.
It's why this so-called No Secret Police Act aims to boost transparency, even bolster public trust in law enforcement.
You're policing, patrolling a community, arresting people. People should be able to know who you are and what agency you're with, and that you're actually a law enforcement officer.
But there's still strong opposition to this bill.
The state of California, or actually any state in the union, does not have the authority to determine how federal officers are going to handle enforcement operations. So the nexus is this bill will ultimately fall on the local law enforcement agencies.
Brian Marvel is the president of the state's Peace Officers Research Association. He calls this bill dangerous, arguing it could strip local officers of their key protections.
Removes qualified immunity for good faith mistakes made by the local peace officers. Will now open them up to litigation and being sued.
Marvel adds that local officers tend to only use masks for either special operations or when near chemical gases. The No Secret Police Act does include exceptions for SWAT teams, medical grade masks used during wildfire emergencies. The bill passed late Thursday and it's now on the desk of Governor Gavin Newsom. He has until October 13th to either sign or veto this bill. In the newsroom, Danny Miskell, ABC 10 News.
New York City's Democratic mayoral nominee Zoran Mamdani picked up an important endorsement on Sunday. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is formally endorsing Mamdani. In a New York Times opinion piece, she called him a leader who is focused on making the city affordable. And she mentioned they've had their differences, but says that he shares her commitment to keep people safe and provide opportunities for people to grow. Other major Democratic leaders in New York, like Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, have been reluctant to endorse Mamdani. The latest New York Times Siena poll, though, shows Mamdani has a 20-point lead over Andrew Cuomo.
Well, Sunday was television's biggest night, the 77th Emmy Awards. The big winner was British crime drama Adolescence. Really good show. This Netflix show won Outstanding Series, Directing, Writing, Best Lead Actor, Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor. Owen Cooper's win for Best Supporting Actor makes him the youngest winner in that category at just 15 years old, and he was incredible in it. And then, arguably the biggest standing ovation of the night, it went to Late Show with Stephen Colbert and its win for Outstanding Talk Show. His win comes as The Late Show is set to end next May. CBS says it made the decision purely for financial reasons, but many people have questioned if the then pending merger of Paramount and Skydance Media played a factor, since the move needed approval from the Trump administration. Colbert has been an outspoken critic of Trump. The merger was eventually completed just 8 days after CBS announced The Late Show's cancellation.
The federal tax credit for those looking to buy an electric car is hitting the end of the road. So I spoke with a car buying researcher on how not to burn a hole in your wallet with this tax credit coming to an end with cars that don't burn gas.
It has been great for dealers and both customers.
Sometimes great things come to an end. This go around, it's the Biden-era federal tax credit for those buying electric vehicles.
People purchasing electric vehicles could get up to $7,500 off, whether that was through a tax rebate or if you were leasing, it would just come in the form of a discount that dealers passed on to you.
That's Joseph Yoon, a consumer insight analyst with Edmunds, a car buying website. He tells me this tax credit is ending at the end of the month.
So my advice to people that are shopping for an EV now would be to really scour online shopping sites.
The latest numbers, according to Cox Automotive, that does the Kelley Blue Book, show more than 607,000 EVs have been sold this year, compared to the 597,000 sold in 2024. Yoon says most of these sites have trackers that'll show you how long a car has been at a dealer.
If you see an EV that you like that's been at your local dealership for maybe 90 days or 100 days, they're going to be willing to wheel and deal with you. So go in there firm, ready to fight and negotiate, and I think you'll be surprised at the deals that you'll be able to get.
But he says you might need a different game plan if you're shopping for a used EV, which you could get up to $4,000 off with the tax credit.
Used cars typically have a much lower margin for dealers, so you can't really just go in there and fight for a discount as you would a new car, especially a new EV. And so I think as far as used shopping goes, I would say stay within your budget.
The tax credit is running out of road. Yoon tells me they were expecting a bump in online traffic of EV shopping with the credit coming to an end. However,
that mad dash that we thought we were going to see isn't really happening anymore, which is, to me as a car person, totally a surprise. A huge discount going away is always an excuse for me to go shopping somewhere.
Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.
All right, here we go again. By Wednesday, we could see TikTok banned in the U.S. TikTok's Chinese owner, ByteDance, will need to find a new owner before the deadline. President Trump says officials from U.S. and China are trying to reach an agreement for a sale. This ban, you may recall, stems from bipartisan legislation former President Joe Biden signed into law last year. It cites concerns over national security and data privacy. President Trump has already delayed the ban 3 times. He can use an executive order to delay it again if a deal isn't reached. That deadline's coming up really quick. Trump says the future of the app is ultimately up to China.
Now that's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know for today in under 10 minutes.